Well, we were talking to the last
Okay. Get a roll. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, boy.
Bridges. We're getting stuff hauled out to the Blacktail Bridge today. It'll be closed at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Ripping it out.
How much water you got?
There's puddles underneath still, so.
Like I said, it won't go in the ground. In the spring, it disappears.
It's gonna be a later mess out there, but at least it's not full. It's not up there.
It shut off up above for the last 5-6 days.
Takes 2 months to dry out.
Oh, it won't.
My crane guy left me a message over the weekend, said he might not be able to make it. I called him this morning, and we discussed it, and he's gonna make it work, so. He's gonna be a little late.
Yeah, that'd be a wreck.
Oh, gosh, I didn't know what, I started looking for other train companies and stuff.
So the last car goes over the bridge at 8 a.m.
Tomorrow.
How long?
Till Wednesday night.
Till it's done.
It's still done. Yeah.
I don't want them to drive.
Yeah, yeah, the mail lady says, even the mail can't go across, there's not gonna be a bridge. So,
Oh, can.
They can try.
unless she gets a big run of it.
Only if she gets a backpack.
But I should have traffic across it Wednesday night. We'll probably have the speed limit and stuff because it won't be real nice, but you'll be able to cross it.
They can take the mail across it, then.
Yeah, they can take it.
But just not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Did it arrive with 3 trucks?
What's that?
Did it come, the bridge, did it come in 3 trucks?
It will.
It's not here yet?
No, it comes on Wednesday.
Start fixing it off.
All my other stuff, all this stuff, I need to have it before.
Yeah.
It's here, and we'll have that all set tomorrow night.
Good.
Ryan Canyon, Carl says they got all the parts finally. The contractor's doing something reviewed, so he's hoping, says he's hoping, but he's gonna call me back and let me know when they're scheduling it. But he's hoping by at the end of the week, they might try and get out there and work on it. He said it might be next week. At least they got all the parts finally. It'd be nice to get that one back open. But mainly Blacktail Bridge, we're going hard on that.
Good. That's it?
Yeah.
Nick?
Kind of had a busy week last week. Scale house is set. We have power to it. Everything in the scale house works great. We had a bad breaker that they're having a hard time finding, so hopefully we can get that fixed. We also went up to Wisdom with John Jackson and Tracy and I. Fred Hershey is wanting to deed us that land up there. We got to get a survey. Kind of find out what we got to do there. So the scale guy's supposed to be here today. The internet guy's supposed to be here today. So it's coming along pretty good. So we have a meeting with the software company at 11. So we kind of see where we're at on that. That's kind of where we're at. Been busy.
All right. County Extension, Jack?
This week is National 4-H Week. So we got our registration started last week. We're up to 33 4-Hers and 4 volunteers. But they have until November 15th to fill out their enrollment. You should do your Z-Suite registration, David. Looking at you. So I was on the radio this morning talking about 4-H and trying to get some kids in there. This week's pretty slow week. Fair board tonight. I'll be out Wednesday for a regional Western region meeting up in Phillipsburg, and then I'll be out Friday. I have to go back south for a couple days. And then I won't be back in time on Tuesday because I have a all-day program for the pest management tour. So you're gonna get 2 weeks worth of update here. So the pest management tour is gonna go from 8:50 to 4 o'clock next Tuesday. And then I'll come in briefly for the part of the LEPC meeting. I'm gonna talk about responding to emergencies involving livestock. What is it? Emergency response incidents involving livestock. Program I have put together. So I have a PowerPoint made for the sheriffs, for law enforcement, so city cops, state patrol, sheriff's department, and I have one for the fire personnel, and I have one for search and rescue. But other than that, I have some Zoom meetings, and that's about it. So.
Okay, Mike?
Pretty quiet week. I have nothing until World Basketball Championship on Saturday, and I think the last game will be sometime right after lunch, right after noon. I do have 2 reports that I need to finish by the middle of next week, so I might close the door and try to get some stuff done. Reports of OPI. And we did have the health screening. The folks from the county health department and from the Dillon Family Dental and the who does the vision? Is it it's not the JCs. No, Kiwanis did the Lions Club. Lions Club did the vision, and then we did the hearing. And we had a unique. They brought the volunteer fire department out from racetrack out there by Anaconda, and they had the little trailer where the kids climbed in and enjoyed the fake smoke and all that kind of stuff.
All they had to do is come to big old,
They
Yeah.
didn't use it had to be fake.
you gotta bite the air up there this morning, I'll tell you what.
That's it for me.
All right. Tracy?
We got a new sonic wall. I put one in our server last week, so that's up and running. I've been working on the phone issues. I don't know if any of you know that the Verizon has a bad trunk, so we finally isolated that and it's blocked. So phones should be better. What else is working? Everybody's computers this morning was on the fritz. Must have had a power glitch over the weekend.
Friday night.
We had an earthquake last night.
7:30 this morning or something.
Earthquake?
It just flickered, yeah.
But that's about it for me.
Paul?
Nothing to report, sir.
Rob?
Diamond floodplain permit, working on that. We got okay from the state to expand their pond in front of their house. So they'll be taking the fill out of that and working on the river. So, I've got another conservation easement in last week at northwest of Grant. That's the Wolf McCoy Ranch out of Fort Prairie, about 800 acres. So if anybody wants to look at that, let me know. But we'll have a planning board meeting for November to review this and pass it on. Other than that, it's just staying busy.
Sean?
It's kind of quiet right now. We are gonna spend most of the week over at the treasurer's office to paint, and hopefully I ordered carpet, so we'll put new carpet down over in the old RAC part of the treasurer's office. So we'll be over there most of this week and probably next week doing that. Just other than that, getting ready for winter, setting up appointments for our boiler inspection that'll happen in December. Boiler hasn't been turned on yet. We might. It's supposed to be really nice this week, maybe next week, depending on how cold it gets. I know we had a few cold spells last week that were a little chilly, but we'll go from there. See when we turn on that big boy.
Stacy?
Absentee ballots are available for in-person pickup now. And in-person voting starts today, and absentee ballots will all be mailed out on Friday. So. And then we have public testing this week too on the express votes and the counting machine. Busy week.
Joyce?
Let's see, I ran out and did an inspection yesterday afternoon. I run around kind of getting some of these oddball people that are hard to get hold of, try to get everybody finished up here. Submitted all our 2024 grant paperwork last week, so I'm waiting to hear about the audit. If it goes through, then I can start actually spending some of the money, like ordering some supplies and stuff, and we get reimbursed for all of the stuff from the FDA. And then I applied for a grant for next year for the FDA. So I already submitted that, and I'm actually maybe even gonna apply for a second grant from them. That's kind of a special add-on grant that I could get, so I'm working on that as well, so. And just been helping with real estate agents are asking to get septic permit information, from other properties and things like that, so. Just running around.
Money spender.
Yeah.
Well, Stacy and I are gonna be gone spending money this week for a few days in Helena, getting some training, learning how to spend that money a little better.
We have open tabs at the bar, like, let me know where.
Don't tell, okay?
Yeah.
And just a reminder for everybody to turn in their invoices and be sure and put the codes on there of where you want them to come from, so we make sure we get them out of the right funds. That's it.
That's it. Tom?
Were you gonna give a list of codes to us?
I can do that.
Okay. Appreciate it. Because ours is obviously kind of complicated. In Butte with DES last week, went over quite a few, interesting things there. Earthquake this morning, everybody knows that, no damages. It's always something that I stay in tune of, that I'm gonna get up and check and see where it's at, because this happens to be just a few miles outside of town here to the east, but the worry that we always have is, this is just the end of the shock wave that we're getting, because it was a great big one somewhere else, like we always think of Butte or Yellowstone or somewhere over in Idaho, but I think we're in the clear there. Smoke in the air, most of this is coming from kind of over in the Salmon area. They have a couple of them that really exploded over there. We don't have anything that's real active right here. There's some stuff going up by Butte, so let's hope for snow.
No kidding.
And then the sanitation world, it will be just kind of the end of the season stuff, where people are we're getting slammed with a lot of septic permits. And I think I have 2, maybe 3 of them where people are just trying to permit a second home on a property, and we can't do that. So they're gonna get complicated, probably talk to Sky about some of those. Yeah, it's a blast. So, I think that's what I got.
All right. Josh?
I don't think I've been here since my conference in Helena 2 weeks ago, so that went really well. I actually got asked to take over a portion of training at judge conferences from now on. Me and a group of 2 other judges are going to do a section called Nuts and Bolts, where we're answering questions for people and doing the research for them and then presenting at conference. So that was an honor to be asked to take over for a judge who's done it for like 25 years. Also, thank you. And also, Montana Supreme Court is doing something they've only ever done twice before. They're doing a judicial institution in Missoula this coming summer. Judges get to take that for free. You get to stay on Missoula campus for free. All you have to pay is travel and food. And it's basically like a crash course of law school. We get to take classes from the law professors, and that's something I'm really, really interested in. There's only 20 slots, so as soon as it opens up in January, I'm going to try to fill in for that. And I have a judge who's already said, you need to be there. I'll sub for you for 2 weeks. So that's the plan there.
Cool. That's good.
Yeah. Last week was probably the most insane week I think I've had in terms of workload. I probably put in 60 to 70 hours with all the search warrants and arrest warrants and seeing people in the jail. So I'm praying that this week is less, and that we can just get caught up.
We got some stuff planned for this.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all? Hey, Tom, was that earthquake out of Hogback again like it did here a few years ago?
They're showing it just kind of east of here.
Is that right?
Like up the Sweetwater.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe a little bit north of the Sweetwater.
Okay.
Can't be far. Which we don't really have a recent record of something going right there.
The hogback, yeah, been several years ago, yeah.
Yeah, the hogback, I think that was 05.
Yeah.
It was stronger.
06. What's
It
that?
was stronger.
That was a 5.6.
Yeah.
5.6.
Yeah, all right. David?
Well, like Randy said, it's been a busy, last week was busy, weekend was busy. I think Wednesday night last week, we had 9 arrests. We've had 11, but 2 of them took off running, so. But they
Did
got.
you let them get away?
No, we haven't actually.
See, if you just let them get away, then you don't have to put them in jail. No, that's what they do everywhere else.
It's a long way from the county.
That's your cue.
We got 22 in the jail now,
22 in jail.
and 22 in jail and 2,
Commissioners and so on.
And then.
Yeah, we're in meetings.
Busy week this week.
Hold on a second.
That's it.
I don't know. Should just shut it off, I guess.
That's it?
That's it.
I always say the best for last. Okay?
There's no best about it. It's, way busy, just last, yeah. It's, been busy. I spent, Saturday out looking at the Gillick family transfer stuff and touring properties, and I think maybe we've come up with a good solution there. I spent Sunday driving around looking at county roads and gates and illegal speed bumps and digging trenches across the road.
Do we have more than just the one at Medina?
Oh, yeah, this one's up Wise River.
Oh, really?
So you got
Alder Creek. If you're driving up Alder Creek Road right now, do not drive very fast.
Oh, no.
That's a good one. So, yeah, we got a handle all that.
You have a family with you Sunday?
I did, yeah.
That's a Sunday drive.
Yeah, my dad was in town from Texas visiting this weekend, and so I took him and my wife and 2 kids, and they said, "Where are we going?" I said, "We're just gonna go drive." So we went and drove around, looked at.
Slowly.
It's exactly, yeah. The one across Alder Creek Road is, several big trenches across the road, a big hump in between, and people are sending me videos of cars bottoming out and stuff ripping off the cars. So that's gonna be fun to deal with.
Can I ask where that is?
Alder Creek Road, it's about 3 miles past Wise River on the left. You've probably seen a sign if you've driven through there, it says Sasquatch Inn.
Oh, there's a Sasquatch Inn? Yes.
Yeah, it's that
Oh,
road right there. Exactly, so yeah, Sasquatch gonna lose his transmission. If he drives down- he drives down there too fast. So it's a busy weekend and just trying to get caught up with everything. We don't have any district court this week, so getting caught up with civil stuff and getting ahead on some of the criminal cases that I have, and then doing case review with our deputies and our office staff to make sure that we're on top of everything with all the work that the judge and the sheriff keep shipping our way. So staying busy, way busy.
All right.
Sky, did Cody's, Big Lake Creek Road,
Which one?
Big Lake Creek,
Oh, was that with the cattle company starts with an F?
the Ajax Ranch or the?
Yeah, the guy that was they wanted to trespass or something.
Or Fred Percy Ranch maybe? Or-
Yeah, I think we got
40
that.
bar, wasn't it?
I thought it was a 40 bar.
40 bar, yeah. There's a couple of these that, if somebody says, hey, they're trespassing, they're on the easement and they're not supposed to be. Well, if you go back and read the easement, then yeah, they're actually doing what they can do and it's fine. And so I think we're trying to get everything handled, as far as the one down here off Buster Brown, that one's gonna have to that one might be a fight. It's not locked right now, but the gate's still up. And that was kind of by design, trying to come up with a plan moving forward on that one. So yeah, it's mess up a county road season.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Whose road is Alder Creek?
it's private. But
No, it's for.
Well, Forest Service had an easement across it, but I think it's gone because it was abandoned for a long period of time. But it's not a county road, but where I get involved is the criminal element of somebody jacking something up to harm the property and use of everybody else. And so we might be able to leverage that. Get the road fixed.
I was
You have a
gonna
question?
say, well, no, I was just gonna comment, did anyone besides Sky and I go to the digger days?
Oh, it was a
It
blast.
was amazing. Deer Creek
They did such a
Excavation
good
put
job.
on this
I'm so
new
glad they did
event,
that.
And it was fabulous.
Yeah.
And there was everything. They had excavators, kids riding around in the big trucks, and excavators where you swung it and hit a big soccer ball into a deal and picked up a ball and put it over here, and then, and then 3 or 4 of them just digging great big holes. And
Yeah, the kids
They
were
had
able to get in the
skid steers
cabs
and
and sit on the operator laps and like play these games with the big excavators.
yeah,
And they had built a
That's
giant
cool.
pile of sand
That was
that
it.
all the kids were climbing on. And
that was Doc's
if you
favorite
get a
part.
chance to go next year, go check it out. It's
Yeah, the
very
burgers
cool.
were good too.
They let us drive.
They probably would have, yeah. I'd
I'd
have to sit on some.
All right, anybody else?
Sky, 11 o'clock, we got a resolution on this intercap loan for Jackson Water and Sewer.
Fantastic.
And it comes along with a opinion letter from the county attorney. I think you might
Is it
have
the one that I already signed?
Did you get back up here? The opinion letter for intercap, let's follow up with that.
Oh, yeah, I'll be over here in a little bit and chat with you about that.
Thanks.
Bob?
So Tom's gonna do some calling for me. The Anderson Lane, they're gonna start surveying out there. So
I'll catch them, the three neighbors, and tell them to fire one more.
State told me we're gonna be getting a letter from them on Clark Creek.
Oh,
So,
Who's?
letter from who?
The state.
State lands, probably.
Yeah, the road goes over state land a little bit here.
So,
We'll wait for the
So
letter.
we're gonna have
see
to
what
buy
it says.
I don't know.
Depends on what the letter says.
We'll just wait for the letter, see what
Which
it says.
is, there was some easement stuff, I know that.
Probably
Three of the
legal.
landowners.
It
had
sounds
more
legal.
easement or something. I don't know. He said, well, I said, do you wanna come talk to him? He says, no, they're gonna get a letter here right away. Yeah. Okay.
so then,
Let me know.
yeah, that,
So you guys will be, sounded like it,
okay,
Whatever.
cause I had to go talk to him about.
We'll see what it says and go from there.
all right.
Probably legal description.
Hopefully.
So how do we figure out that road that Freddie Hershey's talking about that goes to his house is county, or can you do that?
I think they worked on that, or?
That's a mess. There was a declared county road, but it was never built, but it's still in existence,
Oh,
so.
yeah, when we had the meeting with him Saturday or Friday, he says, I give the county all this gravel, and he does, a permit. He asked me if we could plow to his house, which is 3 more miles up the road or some damn thing. Cause he never takes a penny for anything. And then it came up this morning that maybe that was a county road anyway, to his house. I don't know.
There was an intention way back, it was in the 30s, to put a county road to the Forest Service boundary, but that road was never built.
Oh,
And I think it was probably went through the 40 Bar Ranch eventually, so it's up to interpretation whether it's a county road or not. It's one of them.
Play, hell no.
well, yeah, it's not 40 bar that he wants this done.
You have to go through 40 bar, is what you said.
Well, that's the way the road goes now. So was that the way that it was built, or was, who knows?
We can go back and look at it.
I'll make sure 40.
Not today, though.
Put it on
Yeah.
the list.
No big hurry.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.
They got by.
Oh, this where we're talking about, 8 through the 40 bar. Might be through some of their land.
This thing he's talking about, the guy wanted to go through the house, Oh, he doesn't get shot. Oh, I know. I know.
I haven't got to finish there.
I remember that.
Okay.
Got some fire department, yeah. That's right down there.
I'm working. You can tell this is like home. They think you understand sign language.
The only thing I know is this. Well,
Yeah, there you go. So
So
they
they
wrote
wrote
a
a
big
big
check.
check.
Yeah.
Jack Lever.
Hi.
Right there.
Well, we don't have an official.
Really, yes.
That's why we should do a tour.
I don't.
So. I will, I am gonna let them guys.
I just figured.
I believe you can count them.
You're up in the front there, Rebecca.
You are. I am. Mr. Jones, I'm fine.
Long.
And I was a Smith before, so practically, I'm seeing everybody on the planet. I was a Smith from North Carolina, back in 1700s. Lincoln, North Carolina.
You said just, so it's not.
No, it's up in the mountains. So it's probably straight down the mountain.
Alright, see you guys.
Everybody does. I've got more, yeah.
Oh,
I just got a
good. Mine's,
Sprinkles, got it. I read you loud and clear. Smart butts.
Are you passing the baton?
Next year, he'll be doing this.
She's tried to pass the baton. Multiple times.
And it keeps coming back to
It
her.
just keeps
It's
coming
kind
back.
of like a boomerang.
She's handling it well. I can tell.
Well, it's nice to hear from you. I will say.
Yep.
He's best friends.
Oh, good God, are you already? You've already got the parade of lights stuff? You realize it's not even Halloween?
No.
You have to.
You realize I have to, I'm presenting this to them because it's their courthouse that is integral to the parade.
You came in
So
front of.
I need to reserve it with the commissioners so that they have it on their calendars. I can't be surprising them.
Stop being like the retailers and having Christmas in July. That's just not cool.
That's so great.
Well, I'm gonna go see what I can do.
It didn't work.
Smoke.
Yeah.
All right.
Life in general.
Great. I'm on. We're on.
Rebecca's going to the chamber.
All
You got
right.
the floor.
Yeah, thank you. So this month, we have a board meeting coming up at the hospital boardroom on the 17th of October. We're not doing a lunch and learn this month. It was gonna be the candidates forum, but I think all our candidates are kind of running, locally, are kind of running on a boat, so it kind of didn't make a lot of sense to do anything. So, and I'm not gonna touch the national candidate, I'm not gonna go there. We're just doing our board meeting, and it is a joint board meeting. We have merged with the Beaverhead Development Corp, and that's kind of official, well, soon to be official. That organization will cease to exist at the end of this calendar year, when the lawyer will notify the IRS. And we've had a resolution to accept those board members to our board, and we'll do officers at our annual meeting in November, lunch and learn. So I invite you all to our November lunch and learn.
Can you tell me again, who's joint with again?
So that's the Beaverhead Tourism Council, which is a 501c3 that I started with the chamber 2 years ago.
Can you shut that door?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And
I'm
that
sorry.
merged with the Beaverhead Development Corp, which was the organization that was kind of responsible for economic development in the county. And they sold 10 acres over by the Y, so there's some money there. I think it's like $100,000 or something. And they were to the point where they needed to hire an employee, and they decided they didn't want to hire an employee. Why don't we just merge with the chamber and see if we can't merge kind of, a wagon train. Let's get all the horses going in the same direction instead of all the horses going in 8 directions. So that's kind of was the thinking. And so it's created a 17-person board for the chamber, which is enormous and probably more than we need. But as time goes on, people will probably step aside and take some time back, and it'll probably level out. But nobody's being asked to get off or anything like that. With that, the chamber's been invited to go to the SHOT Show in January with the governor and the Department of Commerce. And so my husband and I, my husband's on the board of the Beaverhead Track Club and the Pistol Range with John Hawkins. What's his name? Jed Mundy and some of those guys. So when I talked to the state, they said, since you can share a hotel room with your husband, would you two want to go down and represent these entities here in Beaverhead County? So I said, absolutely. So they'll pay for our hotel, and the only thing we have to do is work the state booth for one day, which we will do. And but I plan on working the room and going all around the conference all the time. There's gonna be 50,000 people there. So for me, that's just what I want to do. So anyway. So that's what I'll do, and I don't know what my husband will be doing. We'll just leave him at the booth. You stay here. But we've got, I've got some good demographic information. I've been talking to some of the realtors in the county about, and I talked to Eric Winland about the land he has. I know Tom Miller has the old R.A. Miller site. So, I think we probably have 7-acre, 10-acre, 30-acre. We have some parcels around that maybe could be possibilities for people, for anyone who might be interested. I was very encouraged to hear that Glendive, Montana got an ammo manufacturer, and they said they got it from the show 2 years ago. They got that lead, and another ammo manufacturer in Billings came from the show. So not that I'm particularly interested in ammo manufacturing, but I mean, Carl Zeiss Optics is big in for guns, and I think that would be a great one that maybe wouldn't be as maybe harmful to the environment. I'm a little worried about that. I don't know what goes into ammo manufacturing. I don't know how much water they need. I don't know. So we'll see.
The Rice X plant, did you ever hear who bought that, who ended up getting that, or what their plan? There's another big facility.
I had heard that and it was on auction.
It was sold, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like
462.
492.
492?
462.
460?
462.
Yeah, for 62 acres. I thought that was slow.
Put on that building instead of, if it's, I don't know, the condition of the building, but there's a lot of facility there. Get out there.
And it's food manufacturing, right?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you.
It was, yes.
That's what they did there, yeah.
I mean, I talked,
It would take a lot to get it back up and running. I
it's
mean,
kind of been a
it's
long.
got a lot of square foot, got a lot of square footage on the rating for roof, but anyway, that's,
That's another 62 acre, I mean, I don't know if it's, I talked to Michelle McGuise, she wondered if it was gonna be flipped, somebody just buy it cheap and whatever, hold it for a year or two and flip it.
55 acres probably ought to go back to ag, and they have, they have to leave the facility there with their. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
I
So,
guess, yeah, well,
might be an option though, I mean, that's another option, so, and I've been working with Lima, the Lima Area Community Foundation, I've been meeting with them. I shared with them some board governance, information about like directors and officers, insurance and things for your board, and how important that is. Because nobody should be personally liable for any financial things that happen on a nonprofit. So, maybe there might be some possibilities of some land down in Lima that because they've got rail and they've got fiber optics, where we don't have fiber optics here in Dillon. So I think fiber optics are a big deal to some of these, if they're thinking about moving their business here. And so they've got it. And I told them, I said, there's a window in time right now where you have the fiber optics and you have 5G cell service and Dillon doesn't have it.
How weird is that?
So I'm just saying, if I was in Lima, I think I would want to take advantage of that window of opportunity. And so I just shared that with them and they said they hadn't thought of that. I said, they didn't realize Dillon didn't have fiber, but it's all on rail here and the interstate, so I think there could be some possibility. I mean, the Glendive ammo manufacturer is bringing 75 new jobs, and those are, I think it's a Department of Defense company, and I think that's, those are good jobs, good paying jobs, they're benefited jobs. I mean, that could help some young families around here afford a $400,000 3-bedroom, 2-bath house.
Right.
I mean, it could really help some families. So, that's what's driving me. I'm kind of eager for that to happen.
Very much so.
Halloween Fall Fest, we're on track. We've got a couple booths all set up. I've got the scarecrows up downtown. You see those? They're blowing all over the place. I've had to fix them twice. I put them up. Well, I was trying to get them up before for my timing. That was convenient for me. Of course, that wasn't convenient for nature and wind. So anyway, we'll do the best we can.
Scarecrow's gonna be pretty tough to survive these winds.
They're pretty tough. I've lost a few feet and arms and legs and there's a little brown boot running around and I still haven't found that one. So a little felt boot. So anyway, I'll pick up the pieces, I guess, before Christmas. Everybody will have a date with the glue gun. And then the Parade of Lights is coming up. So just wanted to reserve like we do every year for the Parade of Lights, on December 6th. It's a Friday at 6 o'clock. And Santa Claus is all set up. And the Teen Tones are all set up to sing Christmas carols. And this year, the new thing on the Parade of Lights, we're going to have the judges stand at the end of Bannock Street rather than over by Atomic 79. And just so that, because so many people are here on Idaho Street. So we'll have the judges stand there. And then Waypoint Church is having their typical thing they do, which is a lot of prizes and a ping pong ball drop and things like that. And then First Baptist Church on the other side of the parade, across from the post office, is going to have hot soup, cookie decorating, and then I've got an ice sculpture that's going to be in the Bank of Commerce parking lot by the Moose. And Bank of Commerce is sponsoring the ice sculpture. And it's just an exhibition. Nobody's going to be doing it, but except for the sculptor. But just something new to introduce, just to kind of keep it fresh and keep it interesting, to try to drive people to come out and visit. It's always a good time. It seems like every year it gets
Yeah.
bigger and bigger. And so I'm excited about that for this year. So it should be good. So that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing much.
You know, when you said
Busy.
That's all I'm doing.
by the moose, the Chamber of Commerce by the moose, I thought the bar. I'm like,
Oh, no, not the moose bar. The metal moose, the sculpture.
Bank of Commerce moves
The Bank of Commerce moose, yeah.
and Hershey's moves.
And I did move, you all know where I'm at, over next to Rocky Mountain Supply and where the Job Corps building used to be, or office used to be. And I've gotten really good reviews from people who've come in, who've never been in the chamber, but they came into that spot and have a nice little indoor campsite. We have a 24-hour kiosk. I've got signs coming. Poor Joan, she fell and almost broke her leg, and 3D is way behind on everything. So poor thing, I just saw her this morning, but they're getting close to getting my signs done. So hopefully we'll get those up as soon as we can. And I've been working with MDT to change all the blue question mark signs on the interstate. They took all the ones on the interstate down, and we're gonna order me some more. And lo and behold, I guess the state has decided, or the federal government, somebody's decided the blue question mark signs are no longer the thing. They're all gonna be different. So now he has to order all new signs for me. And I'm just like, you're kidding. What's wrong with the signs we have? And so anyway, that's pushed back the signs order for, and just a waste of money, I think.
The Bell Hay
Trail Veils is
Trail
all
Veil,
set.
what it all- is that competition wise, or do you just let them do it?
It is a competition, and it's an open competition on Facebook or wherever. I post the pictures out on Facebook, but you can go drive around and look at the bales and then just tell me, call me, email me, or go out on Facebook and vote which one is your favorite. And the voting starts, the competition, they have to have the bales all decorated, the small bales and the big bales, by the 18th of October. And so that gives me a week to calculate all of the votes.
The reason I ask is those two Mexican
I
restaurants
know.
up above, holy smoke, they got
Oh, the
competition
sauce.
between each other. If one guy puts up something, then they're, the other store, they're putting up two. They go back and put up two more. I mean, it is-
Well, and
those guys are
salsas,
crazy.
they're not even in the competition with me. In Luncheonette is, that's their own bail, but they still pay me $25 to be in my competition. But it doesn't matter. They're just
No, it's-
competing with each other.
And it's 50 for a bale, right?
It is for a big bail.
Delivered.
Well, Chris and Olivia, my daughters,
yeah.
they delivered the bales this year. Because Gerald retired, Gerald Jones
Joe, I'm
retired.
sure.
So I had to find, well, they all went, his whole place went to small squares, so I had to find big round bales somewhere.
Well, they're plentiful. Okay.
Yeah, and he had plenty, so, and he'll get them all back.
Yeah.
They'll be painted, but he'll get them all back.
Anybody drive by Steve and Deb Scott's house this year?
Not yet.
Yes, they're a landing strip. They have
It's an airport.
skeletons, they have skeletons, it's an airport, a skeleton airport, Bones Airlines.
Bones Airlines.
It's
exactly.
really creative. I mean, I need Jeremy Crawford to go around and just take a picture of some of these things.
Are you gonna have
It's amazing.
something on
The skydivers.
I know.
something on your phone or something that tells people location of brown bales to look at?
No, I want it to be a scavenger hunt. I want them to get around
Oh, in other
town
words,
and
you
go
gotta
find them all.
drive the streets and
'Cause-
find them all?
I mean, I'll probably do a list of where they all are, and then they just have to go find them. This is like Pioneer Care and Rehabilitation. They're sort of tucked back here in this neighborhood, and nobody'd ever find it if they didn't go there. So I'll have a list of where all businesses and invite the public to go find them. And so that'll be fun. And the other thing I'm thinking about is a selfie campaign this winter. So we don't have a lot of things to do in the winter and the weather's bad and all that. So what can we do as a community? So I'm thinking like January, February, we've got that nice mural that the chamber donated the paint for, Cranny's Comfort Club.
Yeah.
And And that's a nice selfie spot, and the weather, that's not impacted by the weather unless, of course, the drifts get 10 feet tall, so I think we're safe there.
It might be out of the wind too.
Yeah, so we could have a selfie spot there, the salsas, the little pepper guys, they could have a selfie spot. The fountain in front of the museum, that is it Walker Fountain? Or that fountain,
I know,
has a name.
I don't know if it's Walker, but the
It has a family name, but anyway, that fountain. So we just have some unique spots around town that I think we could do a little selfie spot competition this winter, just try to get some families out and they're, you know, I don't know how successful it would be, but I'm gonna talk to Diane Midler up in Kalispell. They've done geo scavenger stuff like this before. And then I'll be out from Wednesday to Friday in Billings to the Montana Association of Chamber Executives. I'm on that board and I'll be president of that organization at this meeting in Billings. So that'll just be one more little thing I can do because I don't have much to do. So we'll do that, and but it'll be a good meeting to learn about geo scavenger hunts and things like that, just to kind of help the community stay involved. Anything I can do for Jackson or Wisdom, I'm trying hard to reach out to Lima. I'd love to do that with Jackson and Wisdom. I know Rick Harwood is sort of my contact in Jackson that I do hear about. I know they've got a turkey shoot coming up, and I think I put something up at the post office for them on that. But anything else I can do for the rest of the
They're gonna
county?
do a park where the sewer, where they did the sewer, gonna put plant trees and put tables out there. Some kind of park, I only talked about it. So
Oh, okay, okay. Ooh, let's do a
that's
ribbon cutting.
preliminary.
Yeah, let's do when it's all set.
turkey shoot up at Strogan's.
Yes,
Up at Strogan's.
yeah,
I've been,
that's been going on forever.
been there years ago
Yeah,
at the turkey shoot,
yeah.
30 years ago.
Do they shoot live turkeys or is it
No,
trap?
that's trap or rifle.
Okay.
They shoot a target,
Okay.
I shot it target.
and then they hand you a frozen turkey.
Okay.
Which
At least that's what they used to do. I haven't been to one in a while.
Yeah, yeah.
It was at least 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anything you can think of, but I'd be happy to do a ribbon cutting out in Jackson for that
Okay.
park. I think that would really be great, just to socialize it and get it out to the whole county and let everybody know that's what we're doing.
My dad used to go to that turkey shoot, and he'd fill his trunk up full of turkeys because nobody could shoot with him. And
Yeah,
then he'd go downtown and hand them out to everybody.
what a great thing to do. What a great memory.
He was a sniper in World War II, he loved traps.
Oh,
So,
my goodness.
yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, his name's probably out at the trap club on some
Them
flags.
guys around there see this old man walking down, and he didn't live to be real old, but with his wet bib overalls on and carrying the gun, and they'd say, oh shit, we just want to go home. Yeah.
Only one. Well, he's a sniper, he only needs one eye.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anything else?
Tim Bell do a pumpkin run Friday the
I was
19th,
gonna ask you, when it's the 19th?
noon at 19th.
Okay, so that's the weekend before, the Halloween. Good, that's great, they'll kind of spread it out over the weekends.
That'll be the 19th.
And the Beaverhead Vale Maze is up, Highway 41 this year, just a little past Louis and Betty Hall's place. So, it's gonna be up there this fall. So,
Somebody's corn patch. But all the
I don't know if
square
they did corn or not.
bales- A lot of square bales.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I scoped it out. There's a supply of bales out there too. Hopefully we never need them again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
that's a lot. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for everything you do.
If there's anything I can do, let me know. Yeah. That'd be great, thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. We'll hang the poster.
Okay, appreciate it. I'm gonna hang around.
All right, Mayor, you got the floor.
Oh, not a lot. First, I brought the MOUs over signed last
Oh,
week. I gave him signed one, so I don't know if you guys see them.
Yeah.
Gave him the lady.
Yeah, it says there, there's city clerk or somebody's got
Yeah.
to sign one.
Still one, yeah.
Yeah. I got them on my desk.
Okay. Painted lines out in front of your there,
Thanks.
so I don't know if they're okay or not.
Oh, thanks, looks good.
Painted lines where?
Up around the parking lot, parking spaces.
One-way street.
So that to keep you in your little square.
I noticed out front, that's what I had him go out there, and then one of the commissioners wanted to go out there, so we painted him.
Yeah.
You know, just keep people in line, get cars parked where we can.
Keep people in line.
I don't know if you drove Vine Street yet, we've got that painted, so people have to stay on their side of the road going down Vine Street, that one section by Stevens Greenhouse. So if you ever drive that, it's painted yellow and parking lots on that.
It was funny, I was walking across the street after they got that done, I don't know who the person was, but they said, oh, who put the parking, the paint on this one-way street here? I said, the city did it. He said, how come they didn't put a line down the middle? I looked at him and said, it's a one-way street, I don't think you need a line down the middle.
Have you ever thought about doing Century Street for a line?
Yeah. They have they're testing out their ability to paint a long straight line, so. They're gonna try to do Idaho Street from Helena to Glendale again, so. So if there's any other lines the county offices need, maybe let me know, okay, I still can do it. And then just coming in here, David Nguyen asked if he wants to take we have that speed trailer. He said he wants to take it up to Manida.
Hoping day hunting season would be a nifty.
So I'm gonna talk to our director and make sure it's okay to take it up there.
And does it record stuff or?
It's supposed to. I've had to, because Paul Kraft explained it, I got the information trying to read it. There's a little chip or SD card you put in there and it sounds like you have to take it out every day and put a new one in. And then it tells you, the speeds and everything about it. So, but you have to download the site on your computer.
There's no camera taking pictures.
No camera taking pictures.
It just tells you somebody, your speed limit.
Speed, yeah, and then it tells you the number of cars that went past, the average speed, top speed, low speed, and everything.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure it out because I want to do a lot of that around town that people are asking about, but.
Sure.
The Wisdom is adamant that they're gonna put them out. They've already raised $6,000 and now but you can't because they're not a government entity.
And that's what it is at the conference last
Commissioners
week,
have
and they
to
had
do it.
those signs, they're $30,000 a piece for one of those speed signs you put on like you see going through Twin Bridges and stuff, so.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, they're saying 3,000.
Yeah, I don't know, could been. But I looked at it and looked at way too expensive for us.
Of course, they've got all different kinds. I mean.
Yeah, they have the big ones and.
The ones with that give you that print out the speed limits, they're way more expensive. I know that.
That's about it going on. Sky High Street's opened up, so
Yes.
that's
If
another
you
one.
take that little speed trailer to Manida, city's insurance is on.
I don't know, that's what I'm gonna have Christine look into it and see what it says.
It's sitting up there in the middle of nowhere, and it's some.
And it's hunting season.
You're reading my thought. I just figured who.
Yeah,
Yeah, check that out.
I'll check it out before I said, tell him it's okay. He just mentioned it as I was walking in here, so.
I mean, it's on, we borrowed it, but still you wonder if it gets damaged, who takes care of that?
So. Then, that's about it. Found a broom. It's been out in the lagoon that you put on the front of a little John Deere tractor. It sweeps, so this winter I told the guys to get it in the shop and make sure it still works. Nick Holmes said it worked fine when they parked it out there. So I don't know, so next year we'll be sweeping the 10 Mile Road, Park Street, 10 Mile Road, the walking path. They swept it a couple times with their sweeper, but with that, you just push it off to the side. Hopefully it'll work.
Has it been setting up so the bristles aren't flat?
Probably have to find the bristles.
I was gonna say.
It looks like it just kind of pushed, it's in a weed patch right now. I couldn't really look at it.
If it, stayed up and they put the pins in, then at least it's.
What does that go on?
We have that small John Deere tractor. Yep, and it's just it's 5 feet wide.
Good.
So, and hopefully that, because that's like on our sweeper right now, that one broom gets beat up so bad because it's up against the curb all the time. And hopefully with this thing, we can go, when we do the streets, get up the curb with that, push it out in the street. And the trucks to clean it up.
Yeah.
But that's about it, nothing too pressing yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't know if anyone has questions, what the city's up to. Might be later, learn something about special districts. Or, they say they're not used very much in Montana for some reason, no one knows about them. But it's like for the place, so we don't have to run mill levies. It's a special, you can set up a special district and like fire districts and stuff like that. Because that was over there, a big on police, a lot of the smaller towns can't afford a police department. And the sheriff department don't want to service it. And that's what they say, they can set up a special district to collect money. And that's what I was thinking. I asked him the question, could I go with my buffer zone around here? And they said we'd have to work with the county if we make a big district for police around Dillon. So that's another idea I'm going to kick around and see.
But they say they don't use them very much. You
Yeah.
got a lighting district, you got a street maintenance district, you got.
I know, but that's what he said.
You've got a lot of them
Yeah.
here.
So that's what it is. He said that they don't get used. And I don't know if it's just not used very much for law enforcement or
Well,
what.
maybe for law enforcement, but then, yeah.
They say a lot of the towns run these, like, we have the levies. We have the one levy we have, so. But that's, I thought, because that's what it is I'm hearing all the time, we just go out in the county and never get paid for it. And I said, hey, if it would work, but then he said, you have to work, but you guys, because it's your tax, the donut is your tax region, not ours, so we'd have to be it. Then I'm gonna dig more into it. Going to those conferences, they just give you the high points of it.
Yeah.
Is that like a TIF district?
They talked about that. It's more or less the same deal, just a district where you collect the taxes off that whole district goes into things. TIF districts, they talked a little bit about that over there, so.
Because I think our board, now that we're merged, there's still have interest in setting up a TIF somewhere, either north of town or where Love's is gonna go, or wherever
But if you ever set up a TIF district, they say, make sure you have a person that has the time to be the administrator, but it's just not, you set it up, everything's good. Because like Butte has 2 full-time people for theirs, so it's easy to do, but it takes a lot of time to administrate it.
Right.
So.
Oh, that's like a T-bid for the hotels.
Yeah.
And you really need a person that is managing that T-bid.
Yeah.
But it does create money, but.
Yeah. Other than that, that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
We can move it over, I think it's quiet now.
And when you come in about your Trails Coalition, see on there.
And you come with what?
I see the Trails Coalition.
Oh, that's Dr. Dan down.
So, you get any pumpkins to grow out there? Or
If they don't get vandalized, this is definitely the best pumpkin year I've ever had out there.
I have one growing in ours, probably 10,000 gallons of water. We've got one pumpkin off there.
No, there's There's a bunch.
Yeah, because I got a lot of bugs and they grew to about softball size and all died. That one took off. It's a great big one.
That'll be your email, right? So it keeps getting sent back.
Jim Rogers
Yeah.
in McGinley at Beaverhead County MT.gov. Yeah, see here.
Yeah.
Doesn't say how much.
Uh-oh, I don't think Mr. Downey's coming.
And there yet,
I didn't call him and remind him, maybe I should have.
I think it's his responsibility.
Maybe his occupation.
Tidy him up.
He's
retired
he's
now?
retired, I know.
Is he retired now?
He is retired now.
He is retired, yeah.
That's an occupation, retirement.
Is it?
It's called don't answer the phone most of the time, or
I
you're
was
busy,
trying to do that.
or you're busy.
I wouldn't.
I know people that retire and they. call
Yeah, I
it
know,
occupation.
she doesn't understand what retired means.
She answered the
Oh, I
phone,
understand.
but the deal is you answer the phone.
Now you, it's
And
your
I
fault.
feel guilty. Why?
Well, you could just walk out, I mean, you are
I
retired.
know I could, but I can't.
Especially if they're gonna give you crap.
But she'd be beside herself, because she's, oh, she's like home.
Well, if you guys didn't need to be shepherded around, I mean, she wouldn't need to.
Some of it, that's a.
Is the word shepherded or is it
There's the.
babysat? No,
Babysat. I was trying to,
I'm kidding.
Gentle.
That's weird because Downey is usually.
he is.
Well, maybe they figured out some way to get rid of the cow shit and we don't have to worry about it. I don't know.
I told it.
He was, Daddy would. The only thing that worries me is every time I took some manure from somebody else, weeds, you couldn't believe the weeds.
I didn't write it down wrong.
It was borderline.
There he is, yes.
Yes, there he is.
You had me scared there.
How you doing?
Then you were right on that one. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good.
Morning, John.
How are you doing?
Morning.
Cindy. How are you?
I was second guessing myself that I'd written down the date wrong.
Where the heck's Mike?
He's got a visitor.
He's got
Well, wait a minute.
Sorry I'm late.
You're not late.
You know, it's your,
Pretty
the
much.
minute man.
One. It's 10:01.
It's Andrea's fault.
Okay,
There you
then,
go.
She kept talking to me,
Poor girl.
talking to me. She's like, I gotta go.
She brought her with you. Or not.
Thanks, Smoke.
Thanks, no.
Dang, so.
Good morning, Mike.
Morning, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Doing great.
All right. Next item on the agenda is discussion action trails coalition, trailhead cleanup. You got the floor.
So as you know from last month, we have this reclamation project that we're doing at the along 10 Mile Road. And that site is 2.5 acres and there's estimated 2,500 cubic yards of manure there, along with junk in it. So our plan is to, excuse me, I'm just getting some numbers here. Anyways, our plan is to do reclamation on the area over the next 5 years. So we started that. We have taken the manure out of the stream channels and put in check dams, and thus, mitigated potential
damage to the Beaverhead River by that organic material getting washed down in the river if there's a cloud burst up there in that drainage. But we still have all this manure to deal with. So the phases of the project are to clear the waste material out of there, and then shape the area, probably using part of the manure. I think we're gonna have to use part of the manure on site, because I don't think it's gonna be feasible to get rid of all that. So we'll use some of the manure to shape the edges, kind of in the high dry areas, and then those areas will have to be capped. And so removing manure, $20,000. Shaping and capping, bringing in fill to cap with, $20,000. Putting in, improving the road and putting in a parking structure for horse trailers, $20,000. Bringing in topsoil and revegetating the site, $20,000. So we're looking at $80,000 project. Now, this is going to eventually be county property. So, and as you know, we do like our projects to turn out to be very aesthetic and practical and useful for the community. So I envision it to be a nice place. I'm not sure if the amphitheater is going to go in, because Tanner Loggy told me that could be like $80,000 by itself. And we got to tend to our most important priorities first. But we do need some help with manure. So I really would appreciate it if you let us take it up to the landfill at $4 a cubic ton per cubic yard.
$4?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? That's what
Because it was gonna be 11.
Yeah, I talked to Nick and stuff on this, and that's where this whole solid waste deal up there is, you know, that's a different district. It's a P district, not a tax district, but, we just dug another $175,000 hole to dig.
Yeah.
And to fill it up. So we were talking about ideas, and capping it was intriguing. You know, they say you can be able to use a lot of it capping it. Spreading
We'll
it
have
like
to bring in Phil to do that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what you put a whole bunch of.
And I presume you don't want it at the old landfill, because you
Can't do that.
we talked about that last month.
No. And how much acres is the new piece you got?
3.5 acres.
But on up above?
On up above?
Yeah, on up the road. Didn't you get a whole bunch of that land?
Well, there's, 1,150 acres up there.
Can't you waste some of it up there, you think?
I mean, our priority is to try to keep that range in the best health possible. And we don't have any equipment to spread manure, and the terrain is not, there's pasture up there, but it's just what was created by the previous lessee, which is filled with Russian thistle. So, but we could use some of the manure as fertilizer with topsoil when it gets revegetated. But out of 2,500 cubic yards, that's going to be minimal now.
Okay. We haven't gone to the solid waste board. Maybe we want to make this decision to start with, but so far the ones I've talked to, the answer is no.
Why?
Because somebody's got to pay for these new holes and dig it up, and we're just going to fill it up with manure. That's the whole issue of this whole thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's going to be your land at some point, and so the reason I came to the meeting was to ask for your help. And thus far, I haven't really noticed that there's been anything said that would be actually helpful to us.
How does it become the county
I'm not
land?
complaining, I'm just saying, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I'm just curious, how does it become county land?
Well, the thing is, when we bought that land, we got grant money from the Montana Fish and Wildlife Conservation Trust, and a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And one of the stipulations for the grant money was that the land had to be given to a government organization into perpetuity at some point. And we signed a contract with you all to take the land. Eventually, once we have the trails finalized, and then for us to manage the trails after that. Because the state of Montana said, we already have too many parks, we don't want to, and we didn't know anybody else that would take it. And then, I came to meet with you guys and you kindly said that you would take it. But that's been 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
But the project's been going on for a long time.
And it's gonna be going on for quite a long period.
Oh, yeah, the trailhead, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 5 years.
I had a couple things here. I'd just say in support, and glad Mr. Mayor sitting in the room here, just in support of the project of being able to clean that stuff up. The city's wells are right downstream from that. Over time, there's potential that you could pass that plume of nitrate down there and affect the city wells. Would it happen? I don't think anybody can really answer that. But if it did happen, it's a big problem for the city. And I'm just saying this in support that, in my view as a sanitarian, that needs to be cleaned up. It's to everybody's benefit. Other thing that I would bring up is, has anybody looked into being able to spread that? I mean, I know it's full of trash, but I don't know.
We talked about that a whole lot last
Yeah,
time.
and I was.
I have
on fire
approached
in that.
one of the major ranches around here about taking it spread on the.
I don't even know who has
Well,
equipment to spread manure.
I haven't heard any answer back yet, but it's filled with rock and there's some baling twine in it and.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's pieces of pipe, part of it's probably is good manure that could be used, but part of it's filled with garbage.
Yeah.
And there's garbage on the site. I mean, it's just household garbage that's just been bulldozed into the sides. I mean, it's a mess. It is a stinking mess. And my vision is to have a beautiful reclamation project and turn this into land that people can enjoy using.
Then would it be possible just to stockpile it up at the landfill, not bury it, or what would be the issue there?
You can't stockpile that kind of stuff there. Because then we get the runoff, it's all the SWIP stuff, so you get the runoff and then it gets into the ground, that kind of stuff, which they talk about a lot of.
You mean like the sewer that stores stuff they're hauling out of?
Well, that's all. Yeah, it's similar, but if it's in the landfill, part of it becomes part of that deal.
The big thing too is the weed thing. Huge.
Yes.
I don't care where you disturb it, turn the air up and the moisture comes in the spring. Like myself, if a branch, never will I take manure from any place else, ever. Because I know my weed seeds, if you will. Boy, you put that stuff, and if it isn't capped or something like that, you mentioned Canadian thistle and things like that, which are a nightmare to control. You put that out on that open area and you spread it around and you get a green, moist spring, it'll take off like crazy.
Yeah, the main weeds up there right now are henbane, Russian thistle, kochia, and Canadian thistle.
Yeah.
And we cut probably 10 pickup loads of henbane and bagged it last spring. And then we've had drone spraying for the Canadian thistle and henbane. Drone spraying, I think, is going to be one of the real major changes that we.
Which is, the spraying, but all the, weed experts not here, but a lot of that Canadian thistle, it's got a fuzzy on its stem.
Yeah.
And it is hard to get the plant It's just like an arbor, wearing an arbor plate. You know, you gotta get a surfactant. Well, it's surfactant and chemical and this and that kind of stuff. Spraying doesn't come cheap when you deal with those kind of weeds. One thing, handbang, you know, my kids used to call it a Christmas tree. So it'll get this tall in one summer, that handbang especially. Thistles aren't actual, they'll get as tall as this.
Can you take part of it down here?
I don't know, we might turn around and haul it back up there.
I mean, I don't know, I mean, that's.
That's an expense you don't need.
But
Can they fill the
can you,
settling cells? The lagoon,
There you
ones up by the highway,
You could put something
put
on
down
the
there
ceiling and then
cap
cap
it there?
right next to the highway. The old wastewater.
Put it right in the groundwater.
I didn't know they were clay lined. That's what I was curious about.
No, that's why that's full of water, is because of groundwater intrusion.
There's groundwater up the ones right along the highway that gets in. Boy, that groundwater's high there. I didn't realize. That is not an inviting thing anymore. Yeah, well, everybody has their own place to put it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's.
I put it in my own out on the fields, but I know what's there. And I still argue with some of it.
Yeah.
So legally, what you're telling me, the only place to put it's in the pit?
Yeah, it's gotta go in the class 2 end of it. Can't go in the class 4 either. If you just figure it out, I just figured out the cubic yards that we just removed versus $4. We're right at $3 and some cents per yard what we paid to have that cake taken out. And if you want us to pay $4, it's almost break even.
Just barely break even. Then you know, the next bit could cost $225.
Well, you know it's gonna go up.
You're a nonprofit entity, aren't you?
Yeah,
Government.
the problem is the
But
quicker we fill that up, the more money we spend, which means the taxpayers may have
the
to.
taxpayer, because
Well,
this one,
I
this one
understand,
was
however,
175, and I bet the next one's 225.
I bet it
but
is
it's
too.
public property we're talking about.
Yeah,
I mean, the property that we have that is under Beaverhead Trails Coalition ownership is only temporarily ours. It will be county property, and the whole idea behind, you know, doing this reclamation is to provide more public access. Because if you have access at that site, then people that can hike, you know, on more moderate trails can go in, people can ride horseback, and we've got access across our, some land we acquired a year and a half ago to go to the BLM and to, you know, go on potentially pack trips leaving from 5 minutes from town. And so it's not like taking manure from private land to the landfill, so it would be in the, I hope, in the cause for the public.
Well, the grand scheme of things is the quicker we fill that up.
I understand.
Just to give you an idea, Belgrade just put a cell in it, just to line the cell was $3.5 million.
They're gonna force us into that.
Yes.
So we don't want to.
Yeah, but we don't get another one without that happening.
No, we won't.
We won't get
But
another
the thing
hole,
is-
and then we're gonna have to line it.
Well, and then obviously, you put that kind of stuff in there with the line fill, then we're dealing with leachate too, so our costs are gonna go up quite a bit.
Okay, so let's say, we'll keep half of it on site and use it to contour the edges and cap it. Right, so then we're down to, say, 1,200 cubic yards. So the thing is, if we could take it to the landfill at $4 a cubic yard, that would be 4,000. But otherwise, it's gonna be 11,000. And then we're just gonna have to raise more grant money to do it. And it's not like a huge, you know, sexy grant application. Just say, okay, can you pay for us to truck this?
The more you could lose on site, I don't, would be the best idea.
Well, we already are. I mean, I wanted to get rid of all of it, and now I've come around saying, well, we will use part of it, and the hydrologist had told me it would be better to remove all of it,
Oh, I'm
but
sure.
I think that that's not practical at this point, but we still would like to take some of it out of there. And it's gonna be hard to work the site with it all just sitting there. I mean, I can come back again in a month.
It's a catch-22.
I can come back to your,
You know, it's,
Who came up with $4?
certain,
Or is that negotiable?
certain, county person that maybe
Or-
I shouldn't name.
Okay.
with the cost of digging another one, we can't even, we shouldn't even business-wise look at break even.
But,
No.
but,
No, we
but,
should not do that.
but it is 1,000 cubic yards of manure, like a massive amount for the landfill, or is it just a very small amount overall compared to everything else?
As far as like contaminated soils and stuff we take, that's a massive amount for us.
It is, because we just don't take it.
For 400 yards is a lot of material for us.
We just don't,
When it comes to
we just don't take it. They gotta find some other home.
contaminated soil, because we have to use that.
You mean manure?
No, I'm saying the 400 yards of contaminated soil, that's a lot for us to handle.
And manure is the equivalent?
It's gonna be roughly the same, yeah.
It's the same in that category.
Well, I mean, we're just basically asking for a discount, basically.
No. And we have to cap
If
that.
we,
stuff
if
because of the ground.
we said yes, when would you be hauling? You think
Over the next couple months.
you're gonna get going with it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we've already got the manure cleared out of the stream channels.
When we get this cell filled, we can.
Depends on, how much, nagging I do.
That's what I'm saying, put it on as a pre-cap.
But I really wanna get going on this. I just think it's a great project.
That's
And,
it,
so,
Why again, I mean, you're trying to fill them cells up, John?
Yeah, with dirt, like that, when they tear the streets up, they have to strip the pavement off. They can't put pavement in those holes because of groundwater. We go on the backside of it, we have a big pile of old pavement.
The groundwater shows
So
up.
they,
I
they're
think it
just
causes
dump
that.
dirt on those holes, dirt and rock and stuff.
Just a second.
Well, Wagon Ed, is there any other place we can go with this stuff? You think it's important to get it out of there, get it, do some thinking, and I don't know if you wanna come back in a month, but a couple of, I mean, we gotta get,
Well, the thing about it is, I mean, that manure is gonna carry, you don't really want it exposed because of all the weeds and the concentration of it, but I'm thinking about, is there somewhere that we could use it for fill and then cap, somewhere that we're gonna cap already?
We're just talking about it now. The problem is we'd have to wait till that cell's about
So,
full.
is there some spot out at the landfill that we gotta recontour?
Not recontour, but the cell we're in now,
Or
if we
capping
leave it.
anyways, but that's a ways out before we cap this
Right.
one.
You know,
Before this cell that we're in right now is
That's
is,
probably
completed.
next year before we cap. After the 1st of January, anyway.
we can, I mean, if that's better, we can stockpile it on site and then take it up there next spring or something.
Something like, and then there may be something come up, we can hide it someplace.
Right, well, like you said, we could do that. We just have to plan for it.
The sooner the better, because then.
Even-
You're still
then we can-
taking the space.
We can.
Either way you look at it, because we use a foot at the top. That's
And I,
garbage.
and I'm not too friendly, to be honest with you, business-wise, at the $4. Because it takes $200,000
Well,
to
to
do
keep us
anything
from
over there. So that was
Yeah.
$4.
Well, I mean,
But-
$5
Final
would be
grade.
okay.
Yeah,
Guess we're
more like
across
8.
the-
I mean, you can't, I
See
mean,
what
up
we
there,
need space.
everything they do is when they move to spend money, it's big machinery. They had 2, scrapers, millers and a push cat in there.
Yeah.
I bet that was $1,000, $1,500 an hour, to have them around.
Yeah.
So the final cap on this existing pit, you think you might be able to spread some of it there?
Well, what we'll do is we'll keep the garbage down a foot,
See,
come
then
across a foot, 150 by 600.
See, so you
It's
lose,
roughly
lose the
3,000
quantity of garbage,
yards.
that's what forces you to make another pit.
It's roughly 3,000 yards, so we could spread a foot of that across the top of everything and then cap it.
How far out is that? You
I
don't know
would
because you don't have a
say
scale in
next
yet.
spring.
Yeah.
Maybe next spring.
Next spring.
Probably. Well, we're going into winter, everything kind of slows down. But I mean, by the time he's able to
So you
move
could
it,
take
we're not gonna be able to move it
3,000 yards
in
then?
February, possibly.
No, I think half of it.
Oh, half of it.
Maybe
So
1,000, or whatever you said.
1,250.
You see, this sounds like an auction.
Do I hear 50?
A foot on that, how much did you say, Nick?
Well, what is it, 600 by 150 is 3,333.
You know, if you could, the least
And that's a
amount we
foot,
could take
if
would
you
be
did
the
the whole
best.
thing.
And
Obviously, we're not
and
doing
you tie
it.
here,
Most you could take would be the best for
because
us.
you've got a lot of debris, I can visualize the debris in there too. And that isn't pleasant to run around on top.
Oh, if it's
Yeah,
big.
and that's such a factor, because if it was cleaner,
You could easily
you might
top
be
it.
able to
You
spread
got
it, but there's.
concrete pipe and.
That's
all
the
that
big thing
stuff.
too, is if you get big things underneath that cap, it can't happen because.
It's really a crime that it happened.
Oh, it is, but
And people from the county were driving by it every day, looking at it, and did anybody say, let's stop this from happening? No.
well, they,
Private ground.
it's private ground. Yeah, they can't stop it.
Well,
There's other areas in the county that match it, believe me. Believe me.
sad.
But that's kicking the can down the road, but if you come back in 30 days, we'll sort it out some more.
Come back in a month?
Yeah.
Can you get that figured out a little bit, Nick?
Yeah, we're real close. I mean, we could do it. I mean, we're real close right now. Now would be the time to figure it out because
I'm gonna
did.
be out the 2nd to the 9th of November.
the back of the pit right now is about grade. So if you left it right there across,
Okay,
it's where we need to be with the garbage before we
Tuesday
cap
the
it.
12th?
12th,
Yep, because Monday is a holiday.
November the 12th, what time?
You pick,
10?
sounds good.
Over today, you were 10, so you were
Thank
on
you,
time.
Tom. Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah.
Thanks, sorry to.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
See you, Casey.
Nice try.
Hey. Was it your?
Horse trading.
150 by 600.
Good luck.
You're right, I mean, I just.
Well, he said
sometimes
25
in
acres,
the
so
stockyards,
I have my
they
27.
needed a place to go, so I have the fields right there.
Obviously, we can't do
So they went out, they spread some on, I was gonna farm.
Well, he's
So he's
spread
not
it
away
out.
regardless.
So they should have figured it out before they bought that piece of shit.
Yeah. Unless we
No.
do it.
But I mean, with all the garbage and stuff. you just
Polly
see
has
it.
at least.
Yeah.
Who in their right mind would want to build a park in
It's all space taken up, it's garbage.
Rattlesnakes.
Oh, no.
Whoa, too far. It's.
There are pleasanter areas for park too, in my.
So I did talk to somebody at the DEQ about it, about, being able to fill an area in the landfill and the old landfill, I mean. And they basically said, don't touch it.
Yeah, we just did our last water sample.
And I agree with that 100%. I'm not an expert, but I think if you do that, you're right.
We don't
It's
want
weird,
to keep
it's weird stuff, because
over
if it's
something.
generated, if that manure was generated on site from an active ranch, it can be basically disposed of on site, but then when it becomes like a feedlot, it really becomes a different.
Yeah, and I don't
agree.
What's the garbage or what's the trash that's in it?
Oh, shit.
You name it.
Well,
There's
like
five
a ranch operation, anything he could get rid of there, he
Just
got rid
mention
of
the
there.
guy's name.
Well, I know that. I dealt with him quite a bit.
There's concrete.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's where
had we have known, but how do we really, know what he's doing there until we really go poke around? I mean, yeah, you can see it from the road, but I mean, you could probably get him or could have, or, a future one that's similar. I mean, he's likely in violation of some solid waste rules because he's piling garbage on site. But, a lot of this is kind of out of view from the main road where he was doing that.
I'll bet.
How far are they away from water there?
Oh,
I don't.
So I know,
as far as what?
I know that upper
You
well.
mean groundwater? But, I mean, the thing about it, theoretically, I mean, you don't know we got an idea of what the.
Well, that upper well at the landfill seems too deep.
Just take a big cat
Well,
and
I'm
bury
very
it.
talking,
Right
I
there.
mean, maybe you, 100
Oh, I
years.
like
or
daylight
something like
hill.
that.
I know.
Put a drift down there.
I daylight a hill and then I terrace it off, right?
Yeah.
I don't think about going to that old landfill.
No.
Because
No, but maybe
ventilation up
it's-
there's just like pouring water over.
That old landfill is not mine, so for me to win this last water sample, before something happened.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, we don't want to touch it because
No.
it is capped and closed.
No, you don't even want to go over there. That's too high stakes poker. Even right there, you know what, how that poly feed up and then it kind of goes around back up that way, that draw. You went in there and daylighted that out and then lost some of that debris, you could hide half of that.
Oh, you could hide a lot.
You could hide a lot.
1,100 acres.
You could go up that, you go around and go up like that. You go up in there and daylight the hill, stay out of the bottom and just lose it and then cover it.
Well, and build up an area, but the other pieces, they don't have any cover either.
You know, that, I mean, I think you could lose half, 2/3 of it right there.
Or from the sounds of it, either way, it's gonna end up our problem, whether it goes in the landfill or stays up there.
So out there where they dump all the porta potties, can you spread it out there?
Well,
But weeds will go nuts.
we don't
we don't really want to
want
spread it out.
that's kind of what Nick and I were talking about, is could you take that and spread it just like you do on an egg application?
Yeah.
But then you run into this, I mean, that manure, probably one of the worst ones of those is that frickin' kochia.
Well, that, you know, that he,
And
not the finest, not the
picking all
finest
the damn
damn
garbage out of it.
And then
Let's
two,
just screen
who in
it.
their right mind would put that manure through a manure spreader? If it's got
It's
pipe
garbage.
and concrete and rocks and stuff, then tear the hell out of that manure spreader.
Well, I don't even know who has a spreader around anymore.
Well, I know where there is some that you could get, but he wouldn't even consider going there.
But I mean, if it was clean manure, I mean, I don't think it'd be a bad idea, or what would it hurt, even if you spread it over the old cells? If it was clean, it adds some nitrate to it,
If you put it out there, just
but
dump it.
it's
And
not
then
clean.
spread it around with you'd have to spread it with a sheet. I'll bet their shit, they go right through a tire in there.
Oh, yeah.
So you'd be out there with the sheet plug trying to spread it.
Yeah, and then how much energy or equipment costs do you have in it then?
Then you got,
It's
and then
way
the
cheaper
fact
to.
of just picking up the debris that,
Well, it's still gonna cost even with cap the top, because we're having the trucks coming there, up there, we're gonna spread it out, so either way.
And I appreciate you guys watching this stuff. I gotta go to the court.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
Watch it walk away.
No, we don't let
Make
anything
sure
walk
nobody's
away.
losing. That's all. I won't be long.
I can't believe we're dealing with this, really.
Well, I'll see if I can find something else out.
But I mean, to break even on
I'll see
something
what
like
I can
that.
well, it's silly. That's why I tell him $4 is, you might as well tell him free.
Yeah.
$4 is just a slap in the face, really. I don't know who come up with